Hello and welcome to episode 101 of the No Excuses podcast, of which there'll be a few excuses, obviously. I didn't name it that on purpose. It just, after thinking about a lot of names, because I thought about doing a podcast for at least 2 years before I actually jumped onto this camera, and No Excuses popped into my head, and I thought, I think that's quite appropriate for me, because I tend to think of myself, well, used to, have a go at things and stuff. But yeah, and now I find that I make more excuses. I've noticed, there's a couple of people I watch who've changed the name of their channel recently, only slightly, and I was thinking, oh, well, perhaps mine should be yet more excuses rather than no excuses. Anyway, things are a little bit not manic, but we've got a lot to do today, because today is Sunday the 29th of June, and tomorrow morning at 7:30 in the morning, which is unheard of for me, apart from when I go to Wonderwall, obviously, for me to get up that early. The man is coming to start the bathroom, and we need to be out of the premises. Now, you'd think I was an expert packer. I went to boarding school, and then I would go to my friends all over the country once I got my Mini. So I'm used to packing. But now I'm older, I've got lots more drugs, lots more paraphernalia. You name it, I'm thinking I'm going to take it, because we're only going for 4 nights. It's not even a whole week. But just in case. And bearing in mind, we're right opposite, apparently it's called a Tesco superstore. But I think that's probably relative to the town it's in. It might have a wider range of things in there, but I think it's going to be smaller than the ones we're used to around here, where it's a lot more built up, a lot more people. Anyway, might be pleasantly surprised. And going off on the food angle immediately, I'm disappointed to see that instead of having a Tesco cafe, it's got a Costa one. So we won't be having breakfast in there instead of the $10.99 one they offer in the Premier Inn. I can't justify the price. We might go there once, but I don't like eating when I get up. And I think years ago I used to be able to, I'd eat a bit of cereal, and then I'd have most of a full English, and then I'd have a couple of pieces of toast. I can't get past the toast these days. Or the cereal if you start at that end. I wonder if I start eating in the opposite direction, that'll work. So yeah, I have got some scant notes, and I'm going to try and stick to them, which I haven't already. I've already gone off at a tangent, but bear with me. I wanted to come and talk to you, because otherwise it's going to be, I probably won't be able to do it next weekend. Maybe I could, but I wanted to get on and come and see you. Just a little over a fortnight since I last spoke. So here we are. I have got a scarf around my neck, and I'm wearing one of my everyday t-shirts. And there's a reason. I'm going to explain it to you, right, before you think I've gone completely mad. I need a slurp. Hold on a minute. You probably stop watching me after this, thinking you mucky bugger. Anyway, sorry, bad word. I spilled a bit of pizza down me the other day, and it landed about there on this t-shirt apparently. And the t-shirt was put in the wash. It wasn't spot thing or anything. We use Fairy rather than Bio, because Tom's got sensitive skin. And he put it on a wall wash because it had my leg warmers and some socks in, and I thought that'll be fine. But it didn't get the little bit of tomatoey stain out of my t-shirt that I put on this morning. So I thought I'll just put a scarf around while I need to cover it up. Well, I've told you about it, but it's better than looking at it, isn't it? Because otherwise you just think, what's she done? I do drop food down me regularly. I've got big bazooms and short arms. Bit T-Rexy, you know? And so it's usually, I'm not as bad as Tom. Nowhere near as bad as Tom, who likes to make a sandwich or a butty out of most of his meals, if it includes bread. But yeah, so it didn't clean it. The next time it's going to go a full wash and it'll be fine because I don't have that problem normally. So that's why I'm wearing a scarf on a very warm day when it's like 24 degrees out. It's quite cloudy. It was quite dull earlier, a bit of blue now. But allegedly, tomorrow is going to be a scorcher. And we'll be in the car with the aircon on. And it's aircon at the hotel as well. So they're the Premier, but you know. Anyway, I've now waffled for 7 minutes. Well, 6 minutes probably. By the time I've set it all up and turned it on, etc. And if you're still with me, well done. You will get a medal eventually. Okay. I won't talk about the mouths because I'm trying to make this about half an hour. And I'm going to draw again for the 800 subs. And I'll do that next time. And also I haven't done a June draw. You know, where you say a flower or something that's coming up. So I'm going to do 2 for August. Because this is helping me de-stash. And in addition to that, I may have some yarn to de-stash as well. But bear with me while I get myself organised. Because the bathroom's been obsessing me a little bit. I mean what I want where. Mainly because I've got to go away. I know it's going to hurt a lot. But we'll have to do the best we can do. It looks like the forecast isn't going to be too bad. After tomorrow, it might even rain on us. But, you know, we're going. And the nice thing is, we're going to stop for breakfast on the way. Probably Gloucester Services. Because if you've been there, I think they're owned by T-Bay. It's very nice. Very, very nice. It's not the usual calf around the corner. And by then I'll be ready to eat, of course. I'll have a bit of toast. It'll probably be sourdough. Or granary, or, you know, spelt, or something like that. It's that kind of place. But they do good quality food. So I'm looking forward to that bit as well. Now, I'll show you what I'm going to take with me in a minute. But I've got no finishes. Let's talk about the... yeah, go back a minute, and I'm getting carried away already. I will redraw for the 800 subs, and we'll do 2 draws for August. And like I say, I'm going to start doing a de-stash as well of just a few things, including things I've had off Temu. Now I've got them. It's not that there's anything wrong with them. I just can't see a use for them. I bought them because I like the colour. Isn't that always the case, especially with me? You know, I'm supposed to be in a no-buy year. Well, I keep looking at things thinking, well, I've got to have that because that looks so nice. And then I have to backtrack and talk myself out of it, saying, but you've got so-and-so in the loft and so-and-so in the drawer. Shouldn't you use that first? Or should you be looking at stuff? You know what the rules are. So I talk myself out of it as well. I'm looking a bit brown or red. Depends on... I haven't got the light on today, the ring light, because it's quite bright outside. Yeah, this is an Estee Lauder powder I've had in a drawer for years. I've just put some on because I've packed my one that I normally wear, which is a bit paler. So if I look a bit suntanned, I'm not yet. And we've got a new, before I forget to tell you, we've got a new bird hanger from Temu. And it's working a treat because the pigeons can't get on it. And if I can, I put a picture on Instagram the other day. It's got a hat on it, a roof, and then some curly bits, and then a bowl, which has got holes in, so it drains if any liquid does get into there from the side or whatever. And they love it. And the sparrows in particular. Now, I've not seen my robin for about 3 or 4 days now, and I'm getting a bit worried about him. But I did see a pair of great tits the other day, who were misses. that actually went into the bird houses that we've got. I think they were just playing, hunt the spider, to be honest. But I've not seen them for weeks. I've not seen the occasional blue-tit. And I can now see a buzzard circling at the bottom of the garden over the other houses, because we are fairly, not very suburban. It's only like a few hundred yards up the road and you get to the green belt that separates us and Worcester, really. So yeah, the bird feeders are working well. The new one is. And we've also got one that looks like an apple with the side gouged out of it. That's from Temu as well. And they did try that, but they much prefer the black one, so I'm quite pleased. So that's the update on the bird feeders, because quite a few of you said that you feed the birds as well and you like watching the birds, and it's nice, isn't it? And where we're going is wetlands next door to it. So Mum has kindly lent me her bird watching binoculars, and I should be taking them to have a look. So I've got one eye on the buzzard. Not that I'm expecting him to come in and carry me away, obviously, because the buzzard is the smallest bird that can take something like a baby rabbit or a full-grown rabbit. And then anything below that is can't. Please forgive me. I'm only half here. Right, no finishes in the last couple of weeks, and I'm knitting on my summer Saunter, which is, I can't move. My left arm's really packing up. It doesn't want to go sideways at all. It'll go up and down a bit, but not sideways. Very annoying. Right. In my yarn bowl, I'll talk about them in a minute. And this is my summer Saunter. I put it on the other day to try it on to see how much longer I wanted it, because I thought, well, this is I didn't think it was anywhere near done, but I thought this is getting to a nice length. It's time for me to try it on. It didn't even get to the bottom of my boobs. I need those end things that Sal gave me for Christmas at part of the Advent. I need to stick them in the end before I put this away again, because I'm not taking this with me, but I want it to be safe when I get home. Right, there we go. There's the V-neck at the front, the shoulder detail, if you can see it. There's just a line there, pearl bumps, that sits just behind the shoulder on the neckline. And I've done about, let's have a look, I don't know, 9-10 inches. Now I'm getting through my balls. I ordered 10, that's 500 grams, and normally 500 grams is more than enough for me in wool. Of course, cotton's a bit heavier, and this is DK. I love the colour, but I've started to sew the ends in, and I hope they don't show up. They probably won't show up here, but because I'd like to be very thorough, cotton isn't as forgiving when you're trying to go back through it. It leaves, bigger lumps, really. But I'm pleased with it, and when I now see how far I've got with it, it won't be too long before I've finished it. What I want to do, because it doesn't have any sleeves, I want to be able to finish the body, do the neckline, and then pick up for what would be just a ribbon on the arms, and then do a few rows for sleeves. Weigh the wool, do half, and I will use every scrap of wool that I've got. I don't want to order any more. It's a nice colour. This is a duck egg, and it's Yarnsmiths Cotton DK. But I want to say something about it. When I put it on spare yarn to try it on, I keep a little pack of ends of balls and things, and I had one that's like an opal or a regia. It's not it's slightly fluffy, not ultra soft, and I put it through every stitch, tried it on, etc. And what I noticed was that this fluffs easily, and when I pulled the yarn out, there was bits of duck egg stuck to it, only tiny bits. And also, if I use this as a yarn bowl, at the top here there's fluff coming off the yarn itself. If I've like pulled on it, which I haven't done very often, it's only been sat in there. So I don't know how well this is going to wear. It's a soft cotton, it's not mercerised, and I think the mercerised, it gives it a slightly shiny coating, doesn't it? I presume it's a coating, it's a treatment that the cotton has, and I don't know how well this is going to work. So we'll watch, because I've made a lovely top in the pumice out of the style Craft Naturals, which is cotton and bamboo 50-50 in a DK, gorgeous colours, and I've got the celery colour in the loft, and I would like to knit a similar top with that. Because it's got the bamboo in it, it goes slightly further per 100 grams, I think. Don't quote me on that. But also I think it wears better, because my top that I had, I've still got it, but I can't wear it because it's too short. I look ridiculous in it. It's got a beautiful panel that I got out of the Japanese stitch library as well. I'm annoyed. I could replicate it, I could do it again, but I like the colour on me. So anyway, so I was just saying, tangents galore, that I'm not sure about the cotton. If you want something that's going to be worn as a garment, it might make a very nice blanket, it might make very nice children's clothes, because it is soft, and very pretty colours as well. So those are my thoughts on the Yarnsmiths cotton DK. I say it's not a mercerised, and some people like a mercerised, and you can see why, because I think it just protects it from fluffing. It might be one of these yarns that give a little and then settles down. I don't know. We shall report back on it. So that's the Summer Saunter by Samanthat Guerin. I've also been knitting on the ranunculus at night, the one I'm making for Liz, but I've packed that away, not to take with me, but I've put it away. And I shall pick that up when we come back. So, let me see if I can get my arm to work. So I have to make noises. That's better. I think the word's called decrepit. I was looking for something to take with me, and it's in here. And I was thinking, well, I could take the Summer Saunter, but I'll probably finish it. And what if I don't want to knit round and round and round? You know me. And so I decided instead to print out. I thought I'd printed it already, but I haven't. And it's the Glowhair Frost by Stephen Weston. You can see a picture there. I'm not so keen on the ziggy-zaggy bit at the end, the chevrons, but I might like it when I get there. But I have a friend, Shelley, who's an expert shawl knitter and sock knitter, but, you know, I don't care about socks. I'm going to talk to Shelley about my Glowhair Frost at some point. Shelley, I'll be in contact if I haven't already. Now this calls for, if you follow the pattern in terms of what it recommends for the colour mixes, a 3 colour fade. And I've already shown you the colours on different programmes, and I don't expect you to remember. So what I've done is I liked it partly, the pattern, because it's got a little bit of mohair in it as well. I will try and stop moving my hand, sorry, to make you feel sick. So the palest one is this one. These are all Yarnsmiths. Kids Silk Mohair. Can't remember what they call it. And then there's the pink. I'll put the colours down below. Pale pink. And then there's a beautiful rose pink. That is looking a little bit more purpley than it is in real life. Now the colours I've got 4 colours. This is a merino silk. Now, I can't remember where this has come from. I've either bought it or Sal's given it me, because she gave me quite a few pinks recently. There's about 80 grams here, and I think that's because I've taken 2 times 10 off here to put into the advents. So I could do that to start, because it's a very pale baby pink. Or I have this, and I'll put the colour down below. It's an Attic Spin dye, and I think it's their deep rose speckle. Not quite. They are separate bands and not together, but possibly that one. I hate it when I can't make a decision. That is a deep rose. Attic Spin dye. Because that looks better matching, not matching, but goes with, coordinates, than it looks on the screen a little bit. That looks nicer in a way, but that's almost too purpley, and that's a nice sort of creamy pink. I won't do the palest. And then we've got this, which Pip sent me, and this is the Chatsworth. It was just in my head. The Chatsworth something. I just had it in my head. Colour, again from Attic Spin dye. And they do go together really well, the colours. They're blown out a bit because I'm near the window. But the colours, especially these... well, here we go. She's going to drop them. Those 3 go nicely together. They've all got the same rose pink in them. So I don't know what to do. I could do a little bit of a swatch, I suppose. It's a shawl. Who swatches for a shawl? I have got a different pink in the loft. Obviously, I'm not going to get that down today. But it could be that depends on how much knitting I get done, I might not even get as far as using that in here anyway, and I just use the first 2. But that's the problem when you're buying online and they look like they're going to go, but they don't quite. So yeah, I have got a couple of pinks in the loft of Mohair, because I don't need much, you see. I don't really want to buy any more, because I've got the powder colour and I've got the cherry sorbet colour. One of them might tone quite well. So in here I've got a little tin with stitch markers in. I've got to put some scissors in, and I've got my needles and my pattern. So I wanted to cast that on last night because it's a tab. It's an I-cord tab starter, and there is a video online, 5 years old, on YouTube that Stephen shows you how to do it, and it looks so easy. And I think I can remember how to do just look by watching it once, but I kept falling asleep last night. I'm sorry, I'm a bit sound like I'm a bit bummed up. So yeah, the jury's out a little bit on what colour I'll put with, but I can start it once I've decided whether I'm going to do the very pale pink with the whiter colour, or whether I do the deep speckle. You know, when you've got too much choice, it doesn't work, does it? And then I bought a book. it's not classed as incoming really. It's called Connecting with Nature. Tilly Rose. And it's a David and Charlotte research press book. I got it on Amazonia. And basically it's about mindful stitching or slow stitching, textile art through the seasons, collecting stuff, and it's like feathers and bark and all that nice. And then a bit of watercolour, which I can't do. You know, I mean, it's got some gorgeous photographs in here. I haven't actually. It shows you how to do some of the stitching. And then here, there's a brush wrap there. You could put your makeup in there. Or you could put your watercolour brushes in there. So it's quite a nice book. It's not huge, and I like buying these books and looking through them. And I think what sparked that was Jane's gift to me, the little journal she sent me, which is gorgeous. That I've been trying to think. I don't want to write anything in it until I've decided what I'm going to write in it, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm going to keep it for great memories, or I don't know. I want to, but I don't want it all. It could be like a diary. Whatever happened, I want it to be like self-contained. So yeah. So that's that book there. I quite like what's on the bottom, on the back at the bottom, which is like hydrangeas. I love hydrangeas. I like the lace cap ones and the mop head ones. Bought a lace cap for the bottom of the garden, but it didn't take off. So whereas everything else is going mad. So yes, and really, that's all I've been doing. Not a lot. I've been pithering a lot. I have cut out the interfacing for my blouse, and when I come back off holiday, because Mum's given me everything cut out apart from the sleeves, she's given me a mock-up sleeve to do, because the sleeves on the pattern are enormous. And when I made the one last year, the blue one, the same shirt pattern, I had to cut down the sleeves, because normally I say I want big armholes because of my limited movement, but they were like very, very gapey, mainly because of the pattern itself. So when I come back, I'm going to attach the interfacing and I will start stitching, and I'm looking forward to having a blouse, hopefully, by the end of July. Once I get going, as long as I don't overdo it and I do a bit a day, then I'll be fine with that. So yes, I sold all the yarn bowls. I've got to write to a couple of people and say they're all sold. I can make some more. I do feel sorry for people who've had them because they've got a bit of my hand stitched. But thank you very much for the interest. And thank you very much for the interest in the advents. I have written down everything I've had off you so far in terms of what size advent you want. I've got everything together. I have got a few little extras to put in there, just to something to open, because I must, unlike like I was saying the other day, Leslie of Not Quite Enough Yarn, whose podcast I'm going to go and look at hopefully today, if not while I'm on holiday. Then she doesn't like surprises, but I just think it's nice to put something in that you weren't expecting. So like a little jack in the box. So I'm going to get on with them because I want to get them probably, I mean, out of the door August, September. And I want to label the skeins that I know aren't 100%, aren't 75-25 merino sock. Some of them I don't know, but I'll put a sheet in with them explaining everything. You can over-explain things, you know, Anne, and it can put people off if you over-explain. So yeah, what have I been doing? I don't know. On the, I spoke to you on the 12th. On the 21st, no, I spoke to you on the 12th, yeah. On the 14th of June, on the Saturday, I met my friend Liz in Worcester. We were going to meet on the 21st. We changed the date, brought it forward a week. Tom dropped me off and we went to the Cosy Club, and I had a glass of wine and a brandy to drink. What did I eat? I can't remember. That's bad, isn't it? Oh. We had a steak sandwich each. We both had exactly the same thing to eat. Steak sandwich. And you know, it was delicious. We buy from Morrison's and or Waitrose a thing called bavette or hanger steak. Sometimes it's marinated, like chimichurri flavoured. And you cut it across the grain. And it's slightly chewy, but it's very tasty. I find steaks a bit liverish sometimes, a bit too strong, but these are usually very, very nice. And it was very, very, very easy to eat. It was so nice that I ate it all, which is unusual for me. I left a few chips, and I left a tiny bit of the bread, and that was it. So for me, that's very good going. And then about an hour and a half later, we had apple tart, because they do a very nice apple tart in there. Tom had written to me, he said, tell me when you want picking up. I said, we've not even got out of the Cosy Club yet. We've not even gone round any shops yet. But he didn't mind so much because it wasn't a school day where there was no rush hour as such that you get during the week. So he didn't mind, thank goodness. And then last week I met my friend Jeanette around the corner. She lives just up the road from me. And we had a natter around the pub. I was going to go and sit in her back garden, but the forecast was bad. So we went round the pub, and of course then it didn't rain. It would have been all right sat in her back garden. But we're not to know, are we? And I think it was my first J2O ever. I had an orange and passion fruit. It was quite nice. And then I had a double rum. So I don't drink at home, but I'll have a drink if I go out occasionally. I need to tell you about Liz. Now, don't get writing to me and telling me that I am cruel or I am we don't talk like that anymore about people, because nobody was injured. I've got to stop laughing. I couldn't tell Tom for laughing when I remembered to tell him. We came out the Cosy Club. Liz had had, I don't know what she'd had to drink, only a couple of drinks. And the sun was in her eyes. Liz has got a condition called aniridia, and so she's got no iris. And so your iris protects you in the sun, from light. Helps your retina. Because, if you go in the sun, your pupils go tiny, don't they, as your iris closes up against the light. She doesn't have that protection. She had sunglasses on. And I don't know whether before or afterwards she said, I can walk and talk, but she can't. And she was walking towards me. We'd gone round something. It was up by the Algar statue near the cathedral. And this lad came towards us, and he had a long cane, blind, long cane, and he was skimming the ground, and he had glasses on. Now, bear in mind, not everybody who is registered blind, or indeed uses a long cane, is totally blind. There are degrees of it, and some people find it safer to use a long cane when they're out, even if they can see a bit, because A, it warns other people, gives them time. Not in this case. Now, Liz is gozzy, as we all know, because we've talked about it several times. And she was walking across towards me, and he was walking across towards her, and I didn't have any time to... I couldn't tell him to stop, because he wouldn't know who I was talking to. They were both only walking slowly, but it was like one of those slow car crashes where I've got to be careful how I phrase this. He's got a ball on the end of his long cane that went between her legs on the floor, I might add, right? So he'd go like that. It went between her feet as she sort of walked sort of diagonally across, and they bumped into each other. I thought, you couldn't write this. You really couldn't write this. Like, one registered blind person walks into another registered blind person. That shouldn't happen, should it? But it made me giggle, because it's my friend, and neither of them were hurt. They both apologised to one another, and they went, and Liz said to me afterwards, and I said, oh, you walked into a blind person sometime afterwards. And she went, was he blind? I said, yes. I said, he had a long cane. She said, well, I never saw it. It's no worse, is it, than me in the toilets? It happens. You've got to see the funny side of things. You can't go through life if nobody was hurt and nobody was being nasty to one another. I mean, we're very good at laughing at things that go bad in Britain. We do like have a warped sense of humour. I do, certainly, black sense of humour. But yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't see his long cane. I thought, that's the whole point, isn't it, really, you know? There we are, and that happened as well. So we don't really get to go out very often without having something happen. I'd better leave, you know. It's 37 minutes, and I said I'd only be half an hour. So I hope, don't get offended by that, because it's not intended. It was funny at the time. As I say, nobody got hurt. It was like a slow motion car crash, and I just made me giggle. Yes, we are going away. We'll see you probably in a fortnight. Taking the camera with me. I want to take some footage, hopefully. Bring some back to you. Might post on Instagram as well. So, having said all that, I need to remember, don't I? Not get carried away with the first time I've seen the sea for years. And come back to a shiny new bathroom, which I'll show you. I'm not showing you the old one. Grotty and it's falling apart. I hope you're well. Please, if you're interested in an advent, a 12 or a 24-day advent, please let me know in the comments below. If you've already told me, there's no need to let me know. I've written it down, that's fine. And yeah, I will. If you've said you want one, but I don't know your contact details, and there were a couple of you who said you'd like one, please can you email me and let me know so I can tell you when I'm ready to send them out, ready for payment, etc. I'll see you in a fortnight, if not before. Take care. If you're going away, have a lovely time. Don't get burnt in this hot weather we're having. And keep on smiling. I know things aren't possibly as they should be at the moment, but we have to keep doing our own little bit, don't we? And on that note, I shall love you and leave you. And I'll see you in a little while. Ciao.